this is a really good point being made on the mainstream media, which is kind of rare to see, like moments of extreme clarity. But this is important. This is where we're at. So
the Republican Party, there's a fierce debate and war inside that party. Chris Christie and Jeb Bush and the moderate faction versus Rand Paul and Ted Cruz, and they are still loggerheads, and I don't know how that's going to play out.
Well, it comes all the way back to leadership, Bill. That's the very simple thing. The Tea Party believes in this decentralization, but that can also lead to what you just said, fragmentation, of course, being easily picked off. They need a strategic marketing and communications plan, but most importantly, these people should sit down at a table and come up with a platform that talks about what they are for, not so much what they are against.
That would take a cohesive organization, a lot of money, and then they don't see that. But here's something.
okay, so both points being made are really valid, very good. Okay, so we've lived in such a because right there he's talking about like a criminal. He's talking about criminal activity, or no, excuse me, he's talking about political. He's talking about they need to like get together politically and come up with a platform. But what's really going on is we've been in such a criminal state. I mean, like the money, it boils down to like your money's basically a big scam. There's a big, which is everything, which is this couch, which is this, everything. So I'm trying to like say that Bill O'Reilly makes a good rebuttal, which is that it takes money, it takes cohesion, it takes a certain level of infrastructure to actually come up with something. He was saying that the decentralization in philosophy causes that to be a hard thing, and that's true. I'm noticing that. I think among our ranks there's this idea of never we don't like to, like when you saw the Million Man March protests kind of thing, there's a certain sense in which we're very allergic to movements. We're very allergic to any kind of ideology or subscription to an ideology or anything like that. And in fact, more likely we're more likely to become persons who are, say, investigative journalists or investigators or law enforcement or something that like manifests itself rather than, say, just some sort of peachy political movement. So it's going to be really hard. But the truth is that we would engage ourselves in some sort of a PR stunt of sort of like a political movement, like what seems to be going on, which is why a lot of us are very hesitant about Rand Paul and the Ted Cruz thing, is that we don't like to play ball. And so I think he makes a good point. We don't really have the infrastructure. I assume that that's kind of on the rise, and it's really sort of shady and stuff like that. And you can see it in the media and the entertainment industry is showing that they are making headway in that way. But another point he makes is that that we need to talk about what we're for, not just what we're against. Well, the truth is that so much criminal activity is going on. It's just like I've been saying that it's not really an issue of there being too much government. To be honest with you, it's not even government. It's just a big criminal scam. What we don't have is government. What we don't have is the prosecution of criminal activity. What we don't have is an adherence to the Constitution. What we do not have is government. It should scare a lot of you that have invested so much in a currency that was basically fueling massive millions and millions of people dying, world wars, and the torment of people in dungeons and things like that. I mean, your money is going to be burned, and it's not going to be something that it will be looked at. It'll be like it'll be like a curse. It'll be like a curse sort of thing to even think about. So, really just go ahead and start taking that and then manifesting it into a working system